Hey, this is DiscoverWoodward.com. I'm Brian Cook with Keller Williams Realty Elite.
And I'm Kendra Cox with Keller Williams Realty Elite. And today we have some fabulous people from Bank7. So we're going to start over here with Mr. Haynes. Will you please tell us who you are and what you do here at Bank7 in Woodward, Oklahoma?
You bet. Absolutely. My name is Doug Haynes. I'm the regional president for Bank7. And I have over 5 branches, and I have 2 in Kansas and 3 in Oklahoma.
My name is Melinda Russo. I'm the loan processor here in the mortgage department.
Mm-hmm. Connie.
And I am Connie Rowland. I am Vice President of Mortgage Lending. We are all about mortgage loans.
Yes. Okay. So this is why we're here. So really our first job is, of course, real estate, and that's our passion. That's our love. But we love Woodward, and we really want to promote Woodward and share Woodward. So we've been coercing people to have these fun interviews with us so that we can promote the amazing things, the talent that we have in our community, and the resources that we have in our community. And Bank7 has been a huge resource to us, and we greatly appreciate you. I always like to tell that, Connie, like when I started in real estate a bajillion years ago, I remember I'd call and I'd be like, I have no idea what's going on. And there were a couple of people that I kind of teased raced me on real estate. One of them is it has passed away, but Paul at Woodward County Abstract, she would be like, no, Kendra, this is how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. But you were amazing when I was a real estate baby, and you'd say, okay, so this is what's happening. And I remember I would just be like, I got to write this down. And you really raised me in the loan part of real estate. And so I really appreciate that. So that's why we're here, so we can pick on you right now.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit, what we really see happening a lot is Connie and Melinda. That's how it goes in my office. I say, you're going to want to talk to Connie and Melinda. You're going to want to talk to Connie and Melinda. So tell us about Connie and Melinda, the dynamic duo of Bank7.
So basically I start out with the application. And so you've got to start somewhere. You guys send us the client, and we've got to figure out what is the best loan for them. And of course, we have every loan that's out there available.
Right.
We've got to narrow it down and see what's best for them. We've got to give them the best interest rate and the whole 9 yards. Right. And then that's where Melinda comes in. So after I have the application,
we pretty much discuss it and go and find the best rate we can possible for our customer, and like Connie said, look at everything and get the customer all set up, ready to go, and proceed with their loan.
So one of the things I think is important that I don't believe a lot of my buyers, our buyers, I don't think that our buyers fully understand is that like a conventional loan is very similar across the board regardless of the lender, right?
Right.
And a USDA loan is kind of similar across the board. There's not a lot of changes within the loan itself. So What really happens is, who am I comfortable working with?
That is correct.
And so, we can't just tell our buyers to only go to one bank. We have to give them some options. But I know that when they come here, one of the skill sets that you have is really educating them with their credit and helping them to understand. So these are your scores. This is what this means. This is how you can better your score so that you can have a better interest rate if you're not quite ready to purchase yet. And that's one of the things I really have appreciated about you. And it's something that I see you do frequently. And I think that's kind of your passion too.
It is, yes. Number one, you've got to have a good credit score. Mm-hmm. So how do you get a good credit score? So I sit down and work with them and just treat them like my kids, tell them how to tell my kids, and hopefully it sticks. And there's been so many times that people have had no credit. Mm-hmm. And 6 months to a year later, they're buying a home,
Right.
So you can go to those online websites and you can let them tell you how to build your credit or whatever, or you can come to me and I'll do it for free. I'm not a credit counselor, but I have been in the business long enough to have seen the good and the bad and what happens,
Absolutely.
And so it's just such an awesome thing to sit there with these people that really know nothing about credit, and then all of a sudden they're educated and they can go out and buy a house, a car, or whatever. And so it's so important. Credit is the most important thing.
It is. And you vicariously are training my daughter with credit through me. Because last few weekends we've had discussions. We'll be in the vehicle riding somewhere and she'll be like, now what about, she's 20. And so she's really working on this, building her credit. I'm terrified. I'm like, you're not ready to move out yet. She's in school, but she lives at home and takes care of me. And so I kind of tease her, like, no, not yet. But then I'm saying, well, Connie says to do this. And she's like, Connie.
I'm going to have to bring her in.
No, not yet. I don't want you giving her a loan yet.
So we can talk.
Please give me some time. I said she takes care of me.
I know.
All right, so one of the things that you said, and Melinda said both, is that you sit down with the customer And so I love all the online stuff. And if I can text and not make a phone call, I'm going to do it every day of the week. I love the people part, but I love being able to efficiently just snap something out and take care of it online and move forward. But when I'm not comfortable with something, I need to sit down and see your face.
Right.
And so that's one of the things, and I know that that's what you just said, and I love that you said you sit down and you go through the application with the customer and say, this is what we have, this is what I can offer you. And I remember with my first home loan, I had I don't really know, I did all the work. I mean, I remember filling out all the paperwork, but I had no idea what I was getting into, no idea. No, and nobody ever said, these are your options. They just said, here's what you're doing. And so then as I aged a little bit, matured a little bit, and I said, now wait a minute, what's best? But again, I didn't have the same sit-down experience. And I think that's huge. I think that's really valuable.
I agree.
And one of the things I love about Bank7, and we're at the corner of 34th in Oklahoma. So fun, busy intersection.
Right.
Easy to get in here, make an appointment, come in and sit down with you. What would you want to tell our customers if they were ready to buy a home? I mean, obviously you'd say, of course, to call Kendra Bryan first, but I mean, after that part, what would you want them to know before coming in to talk to you about a loan?
Do they know what their credit score is? So that's where we're going to begin, is credit score, because that's going to tell you what type of loan and how much money do you have for down payment. And of course, there are 100% loans. You can pay 3% down, 3.5% down. We have all of these different loans. We've got to kind of get to know you, understand what you have and what you want to put into that transaction, so we can tell you what we have to offer you. And then we go with interest rates, So it's all about getting to know a person, them getting to know us so that they can trust us and that we can help them walk through that transaction.
Right. I had a mom message me this week. I didn't plan to go here, but I was just, what you said just made me think of it. And she said, okay, my girl, she's about 20 also, and she says she's about ready to buy a house. What first-time home buyers products are available? And really, I always encourage them, don't think first time.
Right.
Think down payment. Think 100% loan or 96.5% loan or 97% loan. And that's how I encourage them to talk to you. Do you want to address that at all? You want to talk about a first-time home buyer loan versus the other? My point being, I think it's hard to find a first-time home buyer loan.
Well, there
That's
are
very
basically two first-time home buyer loans. The USDA loan, which is a 100% loan, and there is a 97% loan, so 3% down, which is a first-time home buyer. Of course, there's some income stipulations on that. So as a loan officer and as a processor, we have to know what those loan programs are so we can present that to the customer and let them make the choice. Do they want to pay the 3% or they want the 100% loan? So it all depends on what they're most comfortable with. And then the payment, that payment factor is a big thing. So it's really just about sitting down and
goes back to relationship again.
Relationship.
Which is why this local shopping and local lending and local is so important. Local too many times sounds like loco. But really what's important is being able to have that relationship so that you're most comfortable with the product you leave with, isn't it?
And you were talking about the mom. I took an application on a young lady that has a very good job. She's only been on this job for a year, dropped straight out of college. Has not really had a job before, and so her grandfather calls me this morning. I have her pre-qualified. He calls me and he wants to know if he needs to co-sign. And so then I have to be very calm with him to help him to understand that it's going to be best if she can do it on her own.
Absolutely.
And I think she can. And so.
And that's so exciting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Do you have any
And I think
exciting?
she's going to be really excited,
Yes,
she gets
it's exhilarating to be the one
signing on the
to
dotted
be like,
line.
I did this thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to share a win-win situation with us? Do you want to share any fun stories?
How about you? You want to share a fun story?
We do have, some that are not so much fun, but not more important, very special to us because of,
Heartwarming.
Heartwarming because of the situation, that someone might be in. But
Well, like the disabled guy.
yeah, that
Getting
was
him into a house, that was superb.
yes. And I think my favorite part about that was the house that he got. It seems to me like once it was remodeled, that it was remodeled just for his needs, just for him. And I was so happy to see him get that house.
Absolutely.
But Yeah, I think Connie has one that really warms her heart too. I'll let her share that one.
Oh, well, the people lived in a home that had basically been condemned. And so they didn't have any money to pay down. So they really needed the USDA loan. So we did have to show that that home was condemned because you can only own one home with USDA. And his son had asthma. The house that was condemned had mold and the roof was leaking and all kinds of problems. We were able to get him into a nice 3-bedroom, bath and a half home that he could comfortably afford.
Right.
And so hopefully his son's medical problems were helped, and they were just ecstatic to get in that home. That's what we like to see. That's what we work for.
Yes.
Work through, to get to the end of that. And you guys too. Whenever you see someone
Definitely.
that they really need a home, they desperately need a home, and we can get them there. That's what warms our hearts.
Definitely. I love it. All right. Tell people how they would contact you. Do they stop by? Can they call? Do you have an app? What's the best way to reach you?
They can get us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just bank7.com. They can go to mortgage.bank7.com. They can walk into the bank here at 34th in Oklahoma, the one with the big sign out front. They can call me directly. My phone number is 580-254-9408. That's my direct phone line. Just stop in, call.
Now, Connie, isn't our newest online feature the mortgage.com or mortgage.bank7?
On Facebook.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. I know they just launched that.
Mortgage.bank7.com.
Mortgage.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
When you fill out the loan application and if you're
Yes.
home, like, man, what can I do at 2 a.m.?
Right.
Right.
Right. Well,
3 minutes,
basically,
basically.
we offer the same thing as the online, the online guys do, and
Yes.
but we take that a step further by adding that personal touch to it.
Right.
And you always, when you call Bank7, even after the process starts, you're going to get one of these two individuals. Okay, if you're dealing with the other online companies, you will never get the same person twice. So that's something I think is really key, to our business and being able to add that personal touch. And that's and Connie, she works with a lot of customers all over the United States. Okay, it's not just Woodward or she's doing one in South Texas right now, and I know she's done some back east. We've done some on the West Coast. So we're not just focused in Northwest Oklahoma. We've got the ability to handle, customers all over. So, the first process is to get online and fill out that application, and bam, you're going to get a call back from one of these two, and it's awesome. Really proud of them.
And with that application, it's a simple application too. It's not something that's going to completely confuse you or, turn you away.
Absolutely. Awesome. We really, really appreciate you taking a few minutes to visit with us so that we could share your product and share who you are with our people. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We really appreciate Keller Williams. And I was telling Brian a while ago, I said, I like the new image is just awesome. It's really great. And so congrats and wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.